I'm going to let you in on one of the best investing secrets out there. You want to invest in the best companies before everybody else catches on to it. So, with that being said, what are the best tech stocks to invest in right now? The ones that no one is paying attention to right now. Let's go ahead and break it down. When we talk about tech stocks, what are the ones that everybody talks about? It's Nvidia, it's Apple, it's Microsoft, it's Google, the household names. We all know those companies. I've got 4 companies that are not necessarily household names that are doing incredibly well, and I think they are worth investing in right now before everybody else finds out about them. I think they can make you sound like a genius, a very wealthy genius here in the next few months, and obviously again, they are doing well right now. So let's just go ahead and start the list. The first one is Tyler Technologies. The stock symbol is TYL. The stock is up 39% in just the last 6 months and up 50% over the last year. You ain't heard of this company. I am willing to bet most people have not heard of this company. They are, obviously every company here is a tech company, okay? But this company is behind a lot of the small government software systems and court systems. If you ever paid a ticket, that company, which probably wasn't the best way to describe it, because I don't want a ticket. I don't want to pay a ticket. I don't like logging on to those systems where I do pay those tickets, but I don't have a lot of tickets. I'm out myself right now. Y'all get the point. Y'all get the point. But they are that is what makes those governments run, right? But we're talking like local, state, county, things like that, not like the federal level. But for these municipalities to run, they need a company to interface with. Tyler Technologies is one of those companies, and they're doing quite well, especially recently. TYL, again, is the stock symbol there. Now, this next company, I wouldn't call it a household name, but people have been chirping up about this company. We may have done a video about this years ago, and this is probably, I would argue, the most popular stock that is on this list. But again, y'all have been chirping up in the comments, okay? I don't think we've talked enough about this company, but it is starting to do well once again. That is Palantir. The company is up 52% over the last 6 months, up 161% over the last year. Again, this is perhaps the most popular one, okay? This is the one that I think most people do know about. It is not on the Nvidia level yet, okay? But it's approaching that level, okay? This is the most popular one up there. I don't think anybody knows about Tyler. I would say maybe 6 out of 10, maybe at least 5 out of 10 have heard at least of Palantir. They're in the cybersecurity space. And again, they are out there. There is enough information out there about Palantir. I don't think that one is completely obscure. Again, the most popular one there. You would have to search. If I do have a video, I'll make sure that it is on the screen if I do, but I'm pretty sure we did one that might have been at least 1 or 2 years old. So we'll check to see if we have one in the library of content that we do have. The next one, though, is a popular name. I don't necessarily think it's a popular stock. That is GoDaddy. We did mention it a few months back. This company is up 30% in the last 6 months, up 115% over last year. Again, now, I would say, maybe early 2000s, they had a lot of commercials that were out there. They did commercials with Danica Patrick, the NASCAR racer. And again, popular name. I don't think back then I knew it was a stock, let alone whether it was good or not. Flying under the radar right now. Very, very good stock right now. Not enough people talking about it. We spend a lot of time, for obvious reasons, about Nvidia because it's the most valuable company on the face of the earth right now, right? We spend a lot of time talking about Tesla, a lot of time talking about Microsoft and Google's and all those very valuable companies, okay? They make sense. They take up a lot of space and weight in the room. Meanwhile, GoDaddy up 100%. Who owns that, right? Who owns that? Okay, it's stocks like this that do quite well, that can help make you a whole lot of money that nobody's really talking about. Okay, and in a year's time, if this stuff continues, then it'll be on the news, right? Then everybody else will be talking about it, and you could be sitting back like, hey, Kevin told me about that. That's why you should subscribe to the channel. He was talking about that a year ago, 2 years ago. You should have listened. Okay, I saw an article the other day. I think it was about, I have to go back and see. I don't know if it was about NRG or some stock we had been talking about. And it was like, hey, this company is up X% and all this other stuff is happening. I'm like, hey, I told y'all that a long time ago. Look at that. Okay, I don't know, it was NRG or FICO. One of the stocks we had talked about, because we talk about a lot of stocks here, and most of them, not all, but most of them do quite well. I also saw an article, and I do plan on doing a video about this. I'm doing a sidebar here. Sorry, we do sidebars here as well. But we talked about how bad Intel was doing, and now a new investor is trying to come in and save Intel. We had talked about how bad Intel had been doing for quite some time. Again, value. That's why you subscribe. All right. Next stock here is Monolithic Power Solutions. Monolithic Power Solutions, they are in the semiconductor space. There have been a lot of semiconductor companies that I feel like came out the woodworks. Now, obviously, NVIDIA is not the only semiconductor company ever. Okay, we know that. We know it for a fact, but it feels like as well as NVIDIA has done, there have been others that have also come along, have hit the radar. Some have come and gone, right? We've talked about some who have hit the radar and then have absolutely fallen off the radar. But MPWR is a stock symbol there. For GoDaddy, it's GDDY. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. But for Monolithic, they are up 35% in the last 6 months alone, and up 102%. Up 102% over the last 6 months. And if I'm looking back over this entire list, the lowest gain out of this entire list is 50%. In the last year. That's it. That's the lowest. Everything else here, 161, up 161% gain, 115% gain, and 102% gain. None of these, with maybe if you want to stretch and say Palantir, everything else is not necessarily a household name, something that everybody already owns, everybody already has in their back pockets. These can be gems for you if you continue to do your research and decide whether or not these are good fits for you. And it turns out, at least by my count, September right now has not been a crash and has not done what September tends to do, which is a good thing. Which is an absolute good thing, and it did help us that the Fed did cut rates. So we'll see. September is not over yet, and we'll see what the rest of the month, which the rest of the week, does hold for us, as well as the end of the month too. But these are just tech stocks, not the entire portfolio you want to have in tech. You still want to have a diversified portfolio. So what are some additional companies that you may want to add, or some additional funds that you may want to add to your portfolio to make sure you have a well-rounded portfolio that is ready for any and everything? If you want to know what those things are, you want to check out these videos next.